I don't think there's anything that's more demanding. It takes more of a commitment mentally, physically, emotionally. It's absolutely the highest level.
This is it. Like, you got the camera on the final guy. I don't have partners. I don't have a huge investment firm behind me. I don't have anything. This is any single dollar that goes in this race team is my dollar. If it's a loss, it's my loss. You know, at the end of the day, I take care of my guys first, but still, if there's a loss, it's my loss.
It's one day before the first Supercross of 2008. Anaheim won at Angel Stadium. The teams are pulling in with freshly wrapped semis, the latest in bikes and gear. Soon fans will be flooding the pits hunting for autographs from the likes of James Stewart, Kevin Windham, Grant Langston. Their favorite rider is here somewhere. But what did it take for those teams to get here today? Better stated, what does it take for a team with no factory backing to reach this premier level? They're called privateers, but each year it's getting harder and harder to tell the difference. Taking a look at the history of one such team and their preparation for the 2008 season provides a view beyond the prestige and glamour to what it really takes to get here.
I had just gotten married, and one of my best friends bought a dirt bike. So I went out and we got a dirt bike. Well, I started when I was 27 years old. My sons, I started every one of them at 5. You know, they were on the little Pee-wee Y Zingers is what they call them. Well, in about 86, they were up on 60s and they were on 80s, and they were climbing, because I have, with all of them, I had them at different stages. Forrest was the oldest, and when he turned 16, he said, can I call Jimmy and ask him if I can borrow his bike? I said, sure, go ahead. Calls him up. I find out he's going to go down to the local track, Homestead racetrack at that time, and he's going to enter the race. I said, well, I'm going with you. You know, we walked down there, and he went over and he signed up, and Forrest came to me one day and said, Dad, I want to go pro. And I said, well, you know, how are we going to go all the way across the California? He says, well, we're just going to do the local, you know, the East Coast races. So we hooked up the trailer behind the pick-em-up truck and started off on the pro ranks with a pickup truck and a trailer, and went to New Orleans Superdome. I remember, you know, you'd walk down the aisle and there's all the big rigs and all the big names and all that, and here we are back. They take all us guys, they put us back in a little fenced-in area where nobody can see us, and where people are operating out of the back of their trucks, the back of their trailers, and all that stuff. And that was how it started off.
This trailer right here is what I started racing Supercross in. My brothers and I raced all our amateur stuff out of this. And then the first and second year I was pro, and then the first year they were pro, so all three of us. This is it. This is the trailer that nobody ever seems to remember existed. They just think we appeared with the semi one day. But that's really where it started from. And then this is the completely illegal, but somehow I get away with it track with the neighbors. Believe it or not, we only had, I built this in 03, 04, right around there. And it's really just a really tight arena cross style track. And it's pretty grown over right now, because it obviously gets left for the summer, and then we would rebuild it for Supercross, and it's due to be rebuilt right now. But it's mainly just so when we were racing Supercross, because I'm living down here for work with the insurance stuff, I needed to be able to ride this style track to stay in shape. I'd ride here during the week, and then Fridays would be my only day on a real Supercross track, basically at practice, and then you practice and race again on Saturday. It was good. It worked. It's obviously not good as a real one, but and don't jump off track or you're definitely hitting the tree or a fence. It's pretty gnarly when we build it up all steep. Again, it's all beat down right now. Here's my favorite part. We can walk up here. So, you know, like while I'd ride, what I'd do is, back then I was doing the insurance stuff, you know, more full-time and on a regular schedule. So I'd go to work in the morning, and then for lunch, I'd haul us home, I'd ride, and then I'd grab a sandwich and go back to the office. But usually, you know, obviously when you're jumping around, you can look, and here's the golf course we live right across. So there's it's pretty funny when you jump this jump, and when you look straight ahead, there'd be golfers trying to putt. And they obviously didn't like it too much, but it's loud, but it's not that bad because it's so tight when you ride it on a 450. We just have to run our stock exhaust, and it pretty much just grunts. This right here coming at us used to be a different rhythm that had an on-off and stuff, and it's gone now. But we used to have a huge bull turn here that turned in there, but we took it out to come over here to make ruts. And this right here is Carson had to let his bike go one time, and that's the cases of the bike launched off the back of the turn, took out that part of the tree. I actually miss it.
For the past 3 seasons, Butler Brothers MX has only fielded riders in the premier class of Supercross. And the continuing process of growing the team, 2008 will mark the inception of a lights program.
We're starting, this will be our first year in the lights division. So the little bikes, our lights name sucks. It used to be 125s and 250s, but so lights is the small class, and we're going in basically full bore. We've been waiting a long time to get into it. We didn't want to step into it gradually. We wanted to come in a big way, so that's why we waited so long. One reason we ran a big 450 team last year, and this year we're coming in with a whole separate semi, so I'll have 2 semis this year. 4 guys on the lights team, 2 east, 2 west. Well, our 2 west coast, one is continuing, that's Skinner, who rode with us this first year, but he rode on 450. So Skinner's lost 20 pounds. He's in the best shape of his life for sure, going faster than he's ever gone.
Started when I was like 12, started racing in the woods. About 2 years later, got into motocross. Just been hooked ever since. Try to keep having fun. It's the name of it, you know, it gets pretty stressful, but just gotta keep having fun and doing it as long as I can. And compared to last year, I'm a lot more comfortable on the bike, on the tracks, and it should be good. I'm excited.
Cunningham, this is his first year with us. He was on Yamaha Troy last year. He actually finished top 10 overall in the West Coast Supercross Series last year in his rookie year. So he's already proven himself in Supercross. He's proven himself top 10 worthy in outdoors, and we picked him up. So he's new.
I mean, why does Tiger Woods play golf? It's no different. I mean, I love to do it. I've always liked to do it. I mean, it's the thing that interests me the most, you know. For you, it could be football, baseball, basketball. You know, it's what you like to do. And, I mean, you could say that people are born with what they like to do or whatnot, but, you know, it's just kind of the sport I picked.
Then when we switched to the East Coast, we have Kyle Keelon. That's the rookie who came in and did the last 4 outdoors with us and finished off the season. So this will be his rookie year in Supercross, though.
Yeah, I'm real glad I got hooked up with the Butler Brothers because, like I said, I've known the family my whole life. So it's kind of just like they're like almost like my brothers. So I can pretty much talk to them freely and not really have a lot of pressure on me. They know that I'm just going to get out and I'm going to give it 110% and do what I can. So being on a pro team is a lot different than doing it yourself in the amateur ranks. It's a lot easier. A lot less stress.
And then also on the East Coast, we picked up Matt Bonney, who's another really young rising star out of Florida. And last year was his rookie year too. He kind of He rode through a lot of injuries last year, and it was a tough year for him. So we're taking it a little easy. We just don't want to rush it. He doesn't want to rush it, but he's a great addition to the team. And
I'm married to this sport. This is what's going to define the rest of my life, and I have 12 years left to really make a name for myself and make myself financially safe for the rest of my life. So
the Lights kids are kids. Most of them are rookies or, second-year rookies right out of the amateurs. And what do we have? I think Cunningham's 18, Keelan's 18, Bonnie's 18.